Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the Crunkest Show in social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone. Say, man, get on the phone and call somebody. And tell them your man's is on the TV. I am the 5-star general. Say, we got a storm coming our way, and I got some information for you. Well, but down in the hood, we handle storms a different way. We're going to talk a little politics. We're going to laugh a little bit. But you know it's going to be 100 when I get through with it. Say, man, I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone and tell you thank you for taking the time out to tune in. You know, without you guys, I wouldn't have a show. And I want to tell you thank you for taking the time out to hang out with your boy, man. I want to start this off by saying that, one, I've been missing some shows. That's because I've been out campaigning, man. I've been out campaigning. I can't do everything, you know, in one day. I've been out campaigning. And the campaign looking real good, man. We got a lot of work to do. Got a lot more money to raise. But we got a lot of work to do, and we doing the work. I want to thank my volunteers the other day. They came out and helped me block walk. We were able to get out and meet the people and have some conversation. And just know that when I have that conversation with you, man, it's going to be real. It's going to be 100. We'll talk politics in a minute, man. You know, there's this big old storm headed this way down to Houston. I'm in Houston, so it's headed down to Houston in the Houston area. And a lot of people deal with storms a different way. I think, hold on a second, y'all. Hold on a second. So down here in Texas, we handle storms a different way. We handle it all a different way. And the thing about it is I don't know why people wait until the last minute to go to the stores. Why you do that? Now, if you're new to Texas, I get it. But some of y'all grew up here. You grew up in Houston. We deal with hurricanes, tropical storms all the time. And you will wait until the last minute to go to the store and get what you need. The question is why? The question is why? Now, I know it's a lot of schemes. We're going to have a little fun tonight, man, but, you know, it's a lot of schemes that's going to go on during the storm. So, you know, of course, the news is not going to tell you the things that you have to really prepare for when the storm comes and law enforcement is immobilized and they can't move around. And so let me give you some survival tips tonight, some survival tips so that you can make it through this storm, and I think you'll be okay. I want you to remember that tonight after about 12 o'clock, the freaks ain't going to come out at night, but the jackers are. So if you want to ride around thinking you can flood your car tonight, the jackers going to be out watching. So if you're not from the hood and you don't know what I mean by the jackers, the people out there trying to bust your head open. You ain't got no business out in that rain. Don't go out there, man. Don't go out there playing, man. Because they're going to have some people out there that's trying to get it any way that they can. I'm telling you, every time there's a storm or hurricane and things get a little rough for us, the jackals come out. It's going to be a bunch of places get robbed. So, you know, normally they hit the gun shops and they break in the, you know, the stores and steal all the food and all that. But I mean, wouldn't have to do that if you got the things that you needed before these things actually hit. Now you're going to see if we get hit pretty hard and, you know, things don't look too good for us, you're going to see your local favorite politician take advantage of the dire situation, and they're going to try to give you turkey and, you know, why all they do all that stuff, man. What I need you to do is use your brain. I need you to use your brain. So like I said, After 12 o'clock tonight, man, if you ain't got no business in the streets, don't be out there. Don't go out there. It's no reason to go. Stay in the house. You know, if you're old school like me, my mama used to say, when God doing his work, you let him do what he do. Go sit your behind down somewhere. And that's what needs to happen with this. You don't need to be out in the streets doing anything that you don't need to do, especially tomorrow. You know, I don't want to know that somebody I knew, you know, ended up drowning or something because they were out in the streets, man. You don't need to be out there. Don't go out there. That's the biggest thing. Now, also, if you're looking for a lot of help after this is over, you might have problems. We're already dealing with the viruses and all that stuff, you know. So I wonder how that's going to play out when you got to deal with that on top of dealing with a tropical storm. And more importantly, my good people, make sure that if you start flooding, you get out of your surroundings. You get somewhere where it's high ground so you actually are not flooding. And for those that continue to flood, I don't understand what level of stupidity some of y'all have. Maybe you should have moved out to neighborhoods that you in, because if you didn't think they were going to flood again, you were crazy. You were actually crazy. So the thing is, there are things that we need to do. If you haven't gone to the store, go to the store, get your candles, get your flashlights, you know, get you a barbecue pit and some charcoal in case your lights go out, you can eat. Survival of the fittest when this stuff happens. If you're new to Houston and you've never dealt with this before, you're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. Now you'll understand why it's so important for black people to learn how to swim. You're going to be all right. But it can scare the hell out you if this is your first time dealing with this type of stuff. So I'll be coming on at different times during this time period with different things. When I get news, I'm gonna pop in and I'm gonna give y'all the news. And Damian Gibson is right. Check in with your family and your friends. Constantly stay on the phone as much as you can. Matter of fact, stop what you're doing. Charge your phones right now. Plug your phone in. Get a full charge on your phone. See, everybody tell you what you need, but nobody really tells you the things that you need. What you need to do, you can get the generator, you can get the flashlights, you can get all of that. But if you have a cell phone and that's your only means of communication and the lights go out, eventually your phone's going to burn out unless you have a backup battery. I got 4 of them, matter of fact. I got 2 that can give me 4 full charges on each one. Then I got 1 that can give me 3 full charges. And then I got another one that can give me 3 full charges. So I got at least 16 full charging cycles for my phone if the lights go off. These are things that you need. You feel what I'm saying? But make sure that you're checking in with your family, your friends. I don't care if you ain't been getting along, and you know, if you need to check on somebody, man, you check on them. You know, y'all out there that want to play superhero, ain't no sense of trying to go and save nobody and you riding around with low profile tires. That ain't gonna work. Stay in the house. If we all just stay in the house and stay still, then a lot of us will make it through this this city will make it through this without minimal damage as far as losing people, because we don't want to lose one person. I don't care who you are. Just kind of stay in the house and don't get out there doing what you need to do. You know, it is what it is, man. Keep the kids safe. All right. Let's talk a little politics, man. I just feel like it. I ain't been on here as much because I've been out doing my thing, man. If you've been watching me, I've been out running everywhere I can run, out putting yard signs out, campaigning, and my opponent, you know, God bless you. Hopefully your signs don't get blown away. We put all your signs out, huh? Wind finna come through here and show you. But I want to talk about my opponent a little bit. I'm not going to drag her. She's a black lady. And I'm not going to hit her because she's a black lady. I'm going to talk about some things that we need to talk about. For those that are out there that are trying to figure out, should I vote for her? Should I vote for Gary Monroe? Should I vote for the Latino brother that's running? Well, I'm going to tell you, if I'm a voter and I'm in your shoes, how many times have these people spoken at a board meeting in the last 4 years? I'm going to count on both hands how many times both of my opponents have spoken at a school board meeting in the last 4 years. Neither one of them. Zero. Our children were not important for the last 4 years. Now, unless they can explain that with everything that we've been through, with an interim superintendent, TEA investigations, the feds coming through the door, special ed all messed up, kids getting shot at the schools, little girls getting raped in the bushes. But you've spoken at board meetings 0 times. How do you justify that? How all of a sudden our children are so important, but for the last 4 years, they've been through pure hell. Floods, hurricanes, everything. Where have you people been? Now, it's obvious. Somebody told me that my Latino brother, I'm not mad at him. You know, he got in the race because Carole Robinson put him in the race, allegedly. I really don't care. Because I'm out and I'm talking to the people. And the problem that they see is that we have allowed our school system and our school board races to not matter for the last 20 years. We have allowed our school system to not matter in elections for the last 20 years. There's only 15% or lower of my district that votes in elections. You have to understand how many people that is. We only get about 7,000 people to vote in that election. So these people that are running, a lot of times, they cater to a certain type of person. And they come through with the same game that they've come through with before. Now, tomorrow, because we're all going to be stuck in the house, I called up a couple of candidates. I called up actually 3 of them. And I say, man, y'all want to do a virtual roundtable on my show? 1:00 p.m. tomorrow. Bridget Wade will be here. Kendall Baker will be here. And my girl Caroline Walters will be here. And we're going to talk education. All these people are running for the school board. 2 African Americans, two African Americans, me and Kendall, and Bridget and Caroline, Caucasian females. We're going to sit here and we're going to talk education. And then you're going to be amazed at how much we have in common. You're going to be amazed by it. Yeah, you're going to have people out saying, well, don't vote for Bridget. Why? Because if she gets in, you won't be able to control her. Well, don't vote for Caroline. Why? Well, she's just a mom. But you got all these highly degreed criminals running the school district right now. Well, don't vote for Kendall. Why? You need a male presence on the school board. So tomorrow at 1:00, we are going to have a virtual roundtable on this show with 4 of the most dynamic candidates that you've ever ran across. So since they wanted to play with me, then I'm going to, say what I need to say. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, Abbreviate. The Houston Federation of Teachers. You did a screening And this the labor union. Did you forget to reach out to some candidates? But you endorsed the same people that created all of the problems, 95% of the problems that's making TEA want to take over the school district. So I get it. You can control them. They'll do whatever you say. So who are you talking about? I am talking about Elizabeth Santos. I am talking about Holly Villasecca. I am talking about Ann Sung. You endorsed the same people that created all of the problems. CVPE, you endorsed the same people that created the problems. Houston GPS, -1. You endorsed the same people that created the problem. But the union, you didn't even invite some of us to screen us. I'm cool with you not inviting me. Because I'm going to be honest with you. The teachers are the victims of the teachers union. They're the victims. All you do is use them for money. You don't even represent them the right way. I know that for a fact because I've represented tons of your teachers. After they done paid you $600 a year, they still had to come to me to get the representation that they needed. And then when they come, you try to talk down on me. Oh, he don't know what he's doing. You a damn lie. I know exactly what I'm doing. But I think that you guys need to look at where these people are getting some of these endorsements from because they want to control people. Okay, so if you leave them in place, you got the same leadership from the Federation of Teachers, and they can't seem to get nothing done. You go to Austin, you lobby, but the way that you lobby, the way that you try to fix problems, it's ridiculous at this point, man. The world is evolving. And all over the country, school board elections have become important because there are a lot of reasons why they should be. But these people endorse the same people that have done nothing. I'm sorry. Would you agree that everything rises and falls on leadership? Would you agree to that? When your leadership is not right, whatever entity they're over is not going to be right. It's not going to be right. I would rather sit in a roundtable discussion tomorrow with 4 highly educated people that have the passion and the guts to run for school board than to sit in another forum with you suckers who don't give a damn about our children. Y'all don't care nothing about these kids, man. The incumbents don't give a damn about these kids, man. Don't fall for it. I'm just telling you the truth. And see, people like, your mouth too fly. No, my mouth ain't fly. My mouth is truthful and is dangerous when the truth continues to come out of your mouth. You become a threat when you start telling the truth. And I'm being honest with you. None of these people that are running that are incumbents should sit on the board of trustees. Because if they do, if we don't beat them, they're going to take over the school district because they want them gone. The bottom line is they want them gone. And if you care about these children, then some days maybe you should just step away from certain things. If you stay, you're not going to stay. I don't care how many lawyers you think the union got, you're not going to stay. When it gets to the Texas State Supreme Court, it will become partisan. And you don't have one Democratic representative on the Texas State Supreme Court. So do you care about the kids? Because if you do, you'd step away. How bad was it the last 4 years? Oh, it was horrible. It was horrible. Where you want me to start at? You want me to start with Elizabeth Santos? You know, everybody talks about how tough I am, or how bad I speak, or how passionate, or how mean and angry I am. But I'm not a racist. I'm not dumb as a bag of rocks. I can make a common sense decision without a union yanking my chain. Let's talk about Santos, who would stand in front of news cameras and pout like a 5-year-old when the votes didn't go her way. Let's talk about Santos, who took her cue from a former board member who lost their seat. And you did everything they told you to do to torment the interim superintendent, even to the point that you were involved in a walking quorum and you fired this woman wrongfully in the middle of a board meeting. Let's talk about Santos, who used to go into the cafeteria at HISD and make the cafeteria workers make tons of food for her now husband for free, which is a violation. All of this came out in an LBB audit. The only thing that she talks about is teacher raises. And I get it. She's a former teacher. I get it. But I have a problem when I see them care so much about African-American kids and Latino children. When is the last time Elizabeth Santos has visited a black school? When is the last time that Elizabeth Santos has celebrated African-American kids who struggled in school with the STAR test? You had two grand opportunities, one at Worthing High School and one at Wheatley. You didn't make either one of those events. So why should we keep trusting you to do the right thing? And more importantly, when you do an open forum, you never seem to answer the questions that they ask you. And you know why you can't answer those questions? Because the union is not standing behind you with a key in your back to give you the answers. It's because you have no knowledge of the educational component. You have no knowledge of it. So explain to me, what do you people want? And I'm not picking on Santos. I just used her as an example. But I'm gonna ask you, what do you want? Do you want somebody that's gonna constantly BS you, embarrass you at the same time, have you caught up in all kinds of federal investigations? But they speak very eloquently. Or do you want people who can make common sense decisions, who can work with the community? They're more concerned with who gets the vendor contract than they are with the fact that our kids don't have enough resources in our schools. They're more concerned with who gets the vendor contract than they are with allowing parents to engage with the school board on board meeting night. You have sat around and you have stifled parents. This board that we have. What do you want? What do you people want from a school board representative? And you're not going to figure it out by going to a forum where we only get to speak for 1 minute. You're not going to figure it out. They do that on purpose so that you can't find out about all the illegal and dirty stuff that they've done the last 4 years. So what I'll do is I'll pick on my opponent. Let's start with my Latino brother. See, I don't even really know his name because I've never seen you advocate for our children. So where have you been, bro? Brown kids been hurt in the last 4 years. Where have you been? Do you have a key in your back, allegedly, from Carole Robinson with the fake Texas Coalition of Black Democrats? Do you have a key in your back? Put your resume from the last 4 years up against mine. There is no comparison. My friend, you have been put in the race to take votes from African-American candidates, but it ain't gonna matter when it's all said and done. Let's talk about my other opponent, Myrna Guidry. As I'm out block walking, I get the question, and I don't even know how I can answer these questions because I don't know, some of the things that they're asking me. The biggest question is, who is Myrna Guidry? You are a sitting trustee, and nobody seems to know you. My question to you is why? Why? Were you there the day that District 9 Worthing High School kids were celebrated for passing the star? No. Were you there at Worthing when we figured out that there were 26 identifiable gangs in one school? Where were you? Were you there when they wanted to close 11 African-American and Latino schools a couple of years ago? Were you there fighting for those schools? No, you were not. But you are the best choice. And another one who can't answer questions in an open forum. You think it's a game? Well, I tell you what. Hold on a second. I'm going to show you. I am going to show you how my opponent answers questions in an open forum. Let's go see if we can find it. Okay, bear with me. I'm looking for it, so bear with me. I'm looking. Here we go. Okay, let's get right here. Bear with me. I'm finna put it up. Let's open it up. Okay, let's open it up. And then I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Watch this. This is my opponent. Share the screen. Okay. Chrome. Let's go here. Share. Okay, can you guys see this? Okay. So let's see if my opponent can answer a question. Okay. So let me go back to where it was. Let me go back, make sure. Bear with me, guys. I'm old, I'm getting there. Okay, so let's stop the screen. Let's share the screen. Let's make sure we got the audio up. All right. And you tell me if my opponent can answer questions.
I'm not really sure I respond to that. Like today, actually, teacher, I don't think you responded yet, or you may have responded once, but I'd be more than happy to have you respond to this one as you are concerned. I'm sorry. No. I can respond. I guess the question was a little bit confusing. Oh, fair enough. Yes, the question was, I believe, the application. Can you read the question? Sure, it was just the application and teaching critical race theory. So are we in favor? Correct. Are we in favor of teaching our history? The parts of critical race theory. Now, what I
The question was, are you in favor of critical race theory? And she couldn't answer the question. It's a yes or no question. Are you in favor of it? She couldn't answer that. There was another question. I wish I could find that one. Where from what I'm understanding, looking at the comments on Facebook, where my opponent, and a lot of people feel that way, especially Latino people, felt that she disrespected them. You tell me. I can answer any question you shoot at me. Do I feel that my opponent has a connection with the Latino community? No, she doesn't. She doesn't even understand how that works. And according to her, let me see, how did she put it? She has an interpreter that answers Latino people's questions. Ma'am, do you have a connection with the Latino community? Can you represent Black children, white children, Latino children, immigrant children, special ed children, LGBTQ children? Can you represent them? Well, Mr. Monroe, can you? I've already done that. I've fought for them like crazy. And I always win when it comes to the kids. I mean, it is what it is. You know, a lot of people, they get into this political game because of the money. They get into the political game because of the money. And the first thing a trustee will tell you, oh, we don't get paid for this. Y'all do. Y'all get paid under the table. Somebody need to investigate them after school programs, because that's where a lot of y'all are getting your money from the enrichment programs. After school programs, you're getting your little cut. So that's why it's so important for you to know which vendors get the contracts. It is time for us to move on. It is time for us to move on in education. We can't keep doing this. This is not working. I was so proud of a candidate that sent me a text this morning and wanted to know if we could just take a ride around my community. Sure. If that's what you want to do, I'd be glad to take you on a tour. Not just of the community, but of the schools too. And let you see. Would you send your child here? And I know it's some school board representatives that right now they're cringing. Oh, they don't like Monroe. Start cozying up to me. Start being nicer to me. Because I'm going to have to sit on that Diaz next to you. And we're going to have to work in the best interest of kids. We're going to have to work in the best interest of kids. And if that's not what you plan on doing, it's going to be a very uncomfortable situation. I am praying for new representation in every district that's up for election. The failures of the current board cannot be overlooked. I'm sorry, they cannot. They cannot. Yes, we got the symbolism out the game last time. And what I mean by that, yeah, we got an all-female board. How did it work out for you? Y'all messier than some old women at a card game. You're doing everything except trying to provide a quality education for children. Let's talk about my point. Would you vote for someone that wants to put tasers on school police officers? I'm an African-American man in America, and at the moment, this is not the climate for it. I'm sorry. It's not the climate for it. Would you vote for someone? But after some prodding, it made sense. But initially, voted not to give teachers raises. Would you vote for somebody like that? You've already heard my philosophies. First year teacher, easily $65,000. Teachers of tenure, their money goes up more. So, how do we improve the Houston Independent School District? You improve the Houston Independent School District by understanding everything rises and falls on leadership. And that means come November 3rd, it's some people that need to go. It's some people that need to go. Flat out need to go. No talking about it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. They need to go. Let me give them some advice. Go into the next board meeting, closed session. And why don't y'all discuss the school bus situation where kids are getting home at 7, 8 o'clock at night? Or they standing at bus stops at 5:30 in the morning and the buses ain't picking them up. It's always an issue. Oh, well, we're short on bus drivers. That's your business. That ain't ours. Maybe if you treated people right, maybe if you paid them a decent wage, they would want to work for you. You figure that out. That's not our issue. But even if you had enough bus drivers, you still can't pick them up on time. You still can't get them home on time. What's the problem? Go into closed session. And I want you to remember, 4 or 5 years ago, we didn't have this problem. That's because the board of trustees who was there, who was also dumb as a bag of rocks, decided that you would move middle school and high school kids on the buses at the same time. That don't work. But you're so dumb, you don't even realize it's just the bell schedule. You need to go back to the old way of moving kids around. See, you didn't have these problems. You created these problems. And that's been the issue with us for a long, long time in the Houston Independent School District, especially the last 4 years. A lot of the problems that we have, you created these problems. And then when the problem is out of control, nobody wants to take ownership for the fact that they done screwed up. You know what I've learned about people is that we can take some messed up truth, but it's hard for us to take a BS lie. Just give us the truth. It is what it is. You people will never own up to the fact that you're garbage and you don't know what the hell you're doing. But as long as your favorite politician, especially you black ones, tells you this is the position you need to run for, we're going to get you in there, then you fall for it. And then you come in and you destroy the situation. You try to do a little bit. And then you try to lean on the little bit that you've done, which is probably about that much. That's good. And that much that is bad. And you try to use that little bit to say that you've been doing a great job. The lies that I hear when I'm sitting in forums, it just makes me cringe. We need to go back and continue doing the good work that we've done. What good work? Ma'am, what good work have you done in the last 4 years? Except make us look like the laughing stocks of school boards across the country. What good work have you done? But these kids suffer from it. So this is what I'm telling you. Am I the best candidate in my race? Hands down. There is no better option. There is no better option. Everything that they gonna try, everything that they done tried, it ain't working. You know why? Because the people know that I speak the truth. They've seen the work. You guys have done nothing. And you sit in the highest position in the school district. And all you're trying to do is win for yourself. That's all you're trying to do, is win for yourself. So when do the kids get a win? When do the kids get a win? The more I'm out campaigning, the more I get to talk to people, man. And by the time I'm done, they get it. When are we going to just say that enough is enough and it's time to move on and it's time to do something different? You have a lot of important elections coming up in 2022. A lot of judicial races. A lot of judges need to go. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but you need to go. You need to go. You need to go. Because you've not accomplished what should have been accomplished. We have to hold politicians to the same standards that Walmart holds their employees to, and any other company out there. If they've not done the job, get rid of them. If they're not doing the job, get rid of them. The only way we are going to fix HISD is time for a full extermination. We, you voters, are the bombs. What I mean by that, you know, when it's time to exterminate, a lot of times you go get them bombs and you set them off in the house and run all them roaches up out of there. You are the bombs. It's time to run all these people out, send them where they need to go. The hell with them. And let's just start this thing from scratch. Let's just start it from scratch. Because if we don't get them out, this is not going to work. Not another 4 years. It won't happen, man. We'll get taken over by the state. They're not even willing to work with these people. And the sad part about it, they should just walk away. If you win, don't put us in that position. Don't put those kids in that position. So do you really care about them? Because if you care about them, sometimes you gotta do the Teddy Pendergrass. I think I better let it go. You need to let it go. You trash anyway. You trash anyway, man. So I'm gonna tell you something, man. When it's all said and done, we all we got. And in a nonpartisan race that ain't got nothing to do with Republican and Democrats, all of us have to understand that in the educational arena, we all in it together. We all in it together. When I have, to sit down with people of different ethnicities, and all I do is I challenge them. Come to my schools. That's all I need to do is take you to my school. Now you tell me, would you send your child here? Everybody I've done it with says no. Okay, so guess what? We either got to fix these schools or they're going to close these schools. And a lot of these hard heads are going to end up in your school. And then your test scores will go to the ground. See what I'm saying? You'll go through the floor. And it's a whole bunch of other stuff going to come with that too. Because some of them, if they got to go to your school and they ain't got no ride home, let that bus don't come. Your little Ford Taurus will be missing in your driveway. So maybe it's in the best interest of everything that we just fix our schools. But the only way we're going to fix them, we got to get some bold new people. Some bold people that are not bought by the vendors. Some bold new people that are not bought by the upper level political regimes. Some bold people that are beholden to the community that voted them in. I need you to tell me who to vote for once I win. And we're going to do a community meeting every month. And I'm going to different communities, not just in mine, because I have to make decisions on votes that affect your community also. The community will tell me how to vote. And whatever way that is, I'm going to cast that vote. I'm going to cast that vote for them because I'm their employee. And I only have one employee. That's the superintendent. And I can bet the house that you're going to do your job under me. Because if you don't do your job, we'll be talking about terminating your contract. I don't deal with failure too much. I don't accept too many excuses. If we're going to be the best, we're going to put the work in. And we're going to do what we're supposed to do. But nowhere during the course of, exercising my duties will I overstep my boundaries as a trustee because I know my job. But just know I'm watching. And if it ain't right, your contract will come up in a discussion. So either do your job or lose your job. That's how I'm built. So tomorrow, if you guys have the time, at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, it's going to be 4 of us on here and we're going to talk education. I ain't getting too much in it tonight, but we're going to talk education. You'll get to ask questions and we're going to have a little fun because we'll all be locked in the house tomorrow because of the weather. And I should be able to see all of y'all. We're going to have a good time. Nobody's going to get hurt out there in that weather. It's going to be what it needs to be. You feel what I'm saying? So when it comes to 5-star, I ain't in the business of making friends. I'm in the business of accomplishing the goals. So tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, come hang out with me up here. I won't be here by myself. And let's see why these people will not invite us to a forum. Let's see why these people stack the decks in their forums. You want to know why? It's simple. We that damn good. It's the reason I'm the best in the business. Every night. 7 o'clock, YouTube, Facebook. It's the world famous Warzone. Get on the phone and call somebody and tell them I am the 5-star general. Until tomorrow, 1 p.m., we're going to bring that phone. A virtual HISD candidate roundtable. Bridget Wade will be here. Kendall Baker will be here. Yeah. Caroline Walters. And of course, your boy 5-star. My opponents, buckle up this war. And I ain't taking no prisoners in this election. I holler at y'all, man.